Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. Welcome to this edition of the Halcyon Show. How the hell are you doing? What are we doing today? Well, I'm bored. I was playing Deus Ex. Hang on. There you go. I got to put some goddamn fucking WD-40 on this fucking thing because it keeps creaking and it annoys me. Anyways, I was playing Deus Ex. I completed it for like the third time. So I thought, do you know what? Now that I've got a shiny new setup, there's no reason why I can't go live. I've actually gone the extra step because yesterday while I was interviewing Heretic, aka Harry J. Robinson, the feed dropped again, which means that it's not the internet that's also at fault, it's my laptop. So to eliminate the Wi-Fi card as being the problem, I have now relocated my modem into my room, hooked it up via the Ethernet cable, so now we should have no problems whatsoever and even speedier internet. So to celebrate this fact, I thought we would test the parameters of our ability to go live by not only previewing the card, but sending an invite to all of the battlers on the card, that if they feel like previewing the event, promoting their battle, y'all need to hit me up, because I have Zoom running right now. I can open a meeting at a moment's notice, and we could go live right now if you want to. But if no one pipes up, and if none of the fans want to hop on, that's entirely fine too. I have an entire card that I can preview right here, so I'm happy to do that. So let's swap to here, and as you can see, I have the card in front of me here. And I gotta be honest, man, when I first saw the card, I had plenty to be excited about. But now, Coopar, yo, when I first saw the card, I thought there was plenty to get my teeth into regardless. That's why I bought a ticket to this event instead of the plug. Not only because the notice was too short, but also I wasn't as invested in that card as I am in this one. Whereas this one, I think, has got a really good mesh of battles and battlers. I think there's the right amount of star power on the card. There's the right amount of interest and intrigue on the card. So that was great. And then obviously I've created a monster in the interim period. Don't know if anyone saw. TMR, a young man who's starting to preview UK Battle Rap a little bit more, invited me onto his show recently to help him share a face-off between one Rick Charles and one Mr. 92. It made a few waves. And, yeah. What have I done? I can't help myself, it seems. Controversy follows me around like a bad smell. But nevertheless, that's my cross to bear. So what I thought we'd do on this occasion, so we got Coopar and we got Kingsley Thunder in the chat. Now Kingsley Thunder is a greedy little man, because we already have an interview with him where we preview the event, dropping hopefully all things being well on Monday. However, Kingsley is a young man who's got a lot of promise and a lot of potential, and is not one to sneeze at an opportunity. So Kingsley, you're in the chat. You are welcome to hop on the old Zoom, and I will be happy to swap the details over. There's going to be some finessing if I do this, ladies and gentlemen, because as you can see, I'm using this camera right now, which I much prefer. I absolutely despise the other one that I use on Zoom. So if we swap to Zoom, you might need me to swap the cameras over, because I refuse to go on Zoom without that camera going forward. It's not going to happen. But Kingsley and Coopar are in the chat having it out there, which is interesting. Coupar's not on the card, so one wonders what he's previewing at this point. Although, what did you say, Coopar? You said, oh god, you said something like, I knew all the names of. I know Lorne looks like he knows all the names of the pigeons at the park, or something like that. Which I want you to know, that's funny. That's pretty good. I'll give you that. And again, this contributed to my comment the other day about the fact that I really do think that Danny Jack sent me a couple of videos Heretic made of battlers reacting to mean comments. What I was really referring to is, and I'm going to hell for these, but Instagram currently have reels going around where some preposterous video or image will appear and the comments are just fucking relentless with it. The one that gets me right now, and again, I'm not proud of admitting that I find this hilarious. There was one taking the mickey out of someone who was a little bit hefty. Again, popcorn in the kettle black in this situation because I'm heavy as fuck. But the comment was, Thanos had to clap. And that just, the mental imagery of that is amazing. And, oh, okay, Coupar's offering to, so there you go, bang. All right off the bat, in which case, Coopar, DM me in Twitter, and I'll make sure that you get a link to be able to hop on Zoom. And I'll start the Zoom chat so you can just hop on whenever. Lorne, wait a minute, right. before I read this, Kingsley, I have an interview with you. I can still make you look like a prick with the power of editing. I just want to throw that out there. I could superimpose a massive penis on your forehead for the duration of the interview if you test me. So this better be either funny or insightful. Let's read. Lorne looks like he high-fives cyclists when they're indicating to turn. Ladies and gentlemen, I think I just found something to do tomorrow. So, Kingsley, I don't know which side Sir sits, but I'm going to make it up. So, and I'm not going to be generous with the size either. It's going to be embarrassing in all fronts. I just need you to know this. I've studied at the foot of Gas Buff. I know what I'm doing here. Anyways, notwithstanding, Coopar says he's going to hop on. Kingsley, I don't know if you got time. You got time to poke fun at the hand that feeds you. And plus, I'm seeing you on Saturday as well. So, it's fine. It's funny. Anyways, right. While these two are hammering out and making fun of me in the comments, let's look at the card very quickly, because I think from top to bottom, there's a lot going on and there's a lot to be excited about. And more to the point, this is why I was... okay, cool. This is why I got excited for... it was Match Day 5 last year, where... Like, I just thought there was a lot on the card that had a lot of consequences and ultimately could be spun off into stories and beats. And I'm really excited about this one too, because I feel like it's got a similar kind of vibe. Not only the fact that it's happening at a similar time of the year, but I think there's a lot going on here. Obviously, Raptors, make no secret the fact that he wants to ride off into the sunset on a couple of occasions, so maybe this is his last battle. Sean Cray is getting a really big nod as far as the veracity and the intensity of the battle that he's being presented with, but now can he carry on the persona that he's crafted over the last couple of months with this sort of everyman persona, yet remarkably funny persona? Bobby Rex is now a champion. All praise too, all hail. And you've got Gas Buff there, and Gas Buff, I feel like we have to have a moment of preemptive silence for Gas Buff, because he's very dead. He's very, very dead. But one wonders, like, what is Gas Buff going to be doing, considering that he has very significantly improved in the last 12 months, as we saw his battle with one Carlton Shanks, who is on the next element of this card against Mr. Kingsley Thunder. Carlton Shanks I was pleasantly surprised by, and considering that's his debut and that was a year and a half ago, one wonders how much he's improved since then. Then you've got Danny Jack versus Grazza, two names that can produce a lot of quality content. I can't wait for Bobby Gas. Nah, me neither, Kingsley. Gas Buff is almost certain to play off of the promo game that he is laced. He will reap the fruits of his labor. But I do wonder about Bobby. Like, does Bobby come in with like that scapegoat's energy and just rides the wave of that? Or he's about 10 years deep. And Jim Bob Natalie's here as well. Caveman's here as well. Caveman, I loved your battle against Gas Buff the other day. I am also a fan of your battle against Mr. Kingsley Thunder. As you may have seen, I may have previewed those battles as reviewed those battles as well. I haven't previewed those yet, because the Caveman Gas Buff one, I'm pretty sure is still on the Patreon. Which, by the way, if you haven't subscribed to the goddamn Patreon, what the fuck are you doing? Go over there and get it's £3.50 for the base level. Get it. Just fucking get it, man. It's not, honestly, I promise you, it's a worthwhile investment. And there you go. So, where was I? Yeah, and then you've got Sam Hypes and Dub T. Listen, Dub T's my boy, okay? And I'm really rooting for Dub T on this one. I don't know much about Sam Hypes, but I hear good things. Same with Hamill. Hamill got a shout out in our last preview, TMR. A lot of people on the TMR podcast, a lot of people were saying that Hamill's got a lot to give here. And Jim Bob Gnarly as well, talented guy. And then there's the monster that I started. 9-2 versus Rick Charles, and it was me, because I was the one that sort of coordinated that face-off to a certain degree, and TMR was happy enough to chair it. I'm interested to hear what people really think about the promo battle that seems to be going on with those two, because, like it or loathe it, if we live in an era where fucking Jake Paul can politic his way to a goddamn fight with Mike Tyson and y'all pay money for it, I'm not hating on 9-2 for doing everything to promote his battle, and I'm also not hating on Rick Charles for no-selling it. So I think they've got a good dynamic going there, and I kind of look forward to the payoff of that. But let's go back to the comments for a second. So we've got, Kingsley saying that, and then you got Jimbo, and then Caveman versus Garth would humiliate the Caveman who battled Kingsley. Well, listen, man. And they come on, Coopar. You see, he's staring already. But here's the thing. What I would say with Caveman is that... interesting. Coopar has DM'd me, it seems. Lovely. Let's get Coopar on. What I would say before I do that, though, is Caveman has a bag of potential. And I'm not saying this just because I'm not just saying this because he's in the comment section. What I noticed about his battle versus Kingsley Thunder is that, yes, the performance lacked a little bit of polish. And, of course, he's adapting the content of his rounds for the room and for his opponent. But there's an undeniable charisma to him. He carries himself with a certain aloofness that doesn't seem disingenuous or put on. And he has I don't know, there's something about him that makes me think, you know what? Again, if he can sharpen up the delivery, sharpen up the content, and then present it in a slightly more impactful way, in a more succinct way, he's going to be a serious problem. And then I saw the battle against Gas Buff. And like I was saying, man, I saw Gas first and I thought Gas is going to walk this. But then Caveman came back and it was a real good backwards and forwards kind of deal. And I really enjoyed it. So listen, Caveman, you're watching this. I have high hopes for you. Don't disappoint me. I'll have another fucking meltdown. Don't test me. Anyways, let's get Coopar a link. Right, so let's do new meeting. And then I need... my fucking ears. Yes. Right. I need the integrated webcam. Oh, I'll just suffer with the integrated webcam for now. Ugh. Because I can't. There you go. That's what it's going to look like. Coopar's just what's that say? Coopar's just an old wives' tale. Don't buy into it. I'm choking every round from here on in just for you. Well, don't just for me. Do it for the fans. Do it for the love. If you're going to turn up and choke every single round, turn it into an art form. You know what I mean? But I'm serious. If Caveman's going to be self-deprecating, I'm not taking it. Caveman's he's one for the future, man. I'm telling you right now. Right. Let's get this goddamn link. Hang on. I can just get it from here. Talk amongst yourselves. How was your day? What did you do? Anything worthwhile? If not, why not? Do something with your life, for God's sake. Greta Thunberg sailed the world and did all sorts of things. Right. Oh, God. Right, let's end that then for now. And let's get... Right, new meeting. Copy invitation. Let's go to... there. Twitter. Give me that. I hope y'all like Coopar, because he's going to be my my wingman for a few moments. Alright, let's paste that to Coopar. There you go. Boom. Right, Coopar, if you're still watching, it's the link at the top. Just enter your name, and then it'll ask you to verify your camera, whatever you're going to be using. Alright. Let's put that there. Okay, there you go. So there you go. When Coopar hops on, you will see him and you will see me. And I'll change it to gallery. So when he comes on, you'll see both of us. Oh dear. Oh, what is going to happen here then? Oh, here we go. Right, let's swap screens. There he is. There he is. I'm living the dream, my friend. How are you? That's all good. As you can see, I've had to swap camera angles because my my rig is not complex enough to handle multiple angles from the same camera, but never mind. Anyways, I presume you've got something to say. You've hopped on because... also, by the way... Alright, we can talk about that, but first of all, I know all the names of the pigeons at the park, do I? None of... I see. And what am I setting off today? Am I setting off any particular vibe today, or... Unbelievable. Alright, in which case, what's on your mind, man? What battle rap things are stirring around in your cranium right now? What you got? What are you going to annoy Caveman with? He's just now committed to choking every round in perpetuity. So how are you going to annoy him from here? I am indeed. Let me just, because it seems like your audio is not playing on this screen. How annoying. Right, bear with me. The trials and tribulations of live broadcasting, my friend. Everyone's saying you're miming, which is, that's my revenge on you. That's what that is. Right. Where is the setting for that? Advanced audio properties. How the fuck do I unmute it? Let's swap it back. I'll tell you what. Let's do this. Let's swap that back. Let's do that. Why is the desktop audio not working? You motherfucker! Why? Why must you do this? Talk amongst yourselves, ladies and gentlemen. The comment section is still coming through, and if I'm heard, then that's all that really matters. You can still banter with Kingsley and Coopar in the. Are you choking? Oh, okay. So, are you already ahead of me on the old thingy bob? Yeah, I like it. Seriously, why is the goddamn desktop audio not coming through? That's very odd. How fucking odd. While no one can hear you, you alright? You good? You keeping well? Kingsley versus Bomb Barker online. I have no idea. What does that mean? Right. What the fuck is going on with this then? Let's try. I know what I'll try. Isn't this fun though? Isn't this like no, it's not. Nah, it's not fun at all, is it? This is bollocks. This is some grade A bullshit on my part. Let's try Zoom as a window capture and see if that works. Let's try that. Let's try that. See if that works. Give that a bash. See if can anyone hear him now? Fuck me. Kingsley, I will kick you repeatedly in the dick when I see you. Honestly. Right, I tell you what, Coopar. Let me fix this and I'll send you another revised link just so that I'm not making you look like a complete twat. I'm going to sit here and look like a complete twat for 2 minutes while I'm trying to figure this out. Alright, 2 ticks. Oh, God. 6 stream, lads. Okay. I have no idea what the flying fuck is going on. I do not know. I do not understand. I wonder if that's the problem. Right, hang on. Let's try something here. Look at my porn again. Just bear with me. Good catching up. Glad no one had. I will let you know, Coopar, the fact that you couldn't hear anything is really hilarious to me. That's so funny. There you go. There's a few previews for you. There you go. You're seeing everything here. Let's try that. See if that works. Oh, God. See if the desktop audio plays this time. Come on. Okay, so that works. Really?
What's good?
Unbelievable. So while I'm still trying to figure this out in real fucking time. Oh, God. I'm so sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I'm so sorry. The fact is, this is what's pissing me off. Beginning of the stream, when this would have been really not annoying at all to happen, 2 people watching. Now there's 8 of you. Where were you 10 minutes ago? I probably wouldn't have even attempted it. Right, get rid of that. Oh, God. Right, let's go back to this. And then... Oh, God. Let's try again. Let's go. Please work. Just work, you little bastard. No, still not working. God damn it. Yeah, if I was everyone else, I'd tune out if I were you. I'd just tune out at this point because this is a fucking train wreck. Oh, that one. There you go. You can see me at least now. God, this is terrible. If you don't want me in the show, you can just tell me. I will try. Listen, Coopar, if you're still there, try that same link again for me. It's the same. It's the same link. So if you hop on, we'll see, and then either we'll hear you or we won't. Oh God. What were we doing again? It's supposed to be previewing an event. There he is. Right.
Hello.
Right. Let's see. Oh, we might have fucking life here.
Are we good? Are we good? Can you hear me?
I think we can hear you. Yes, I can see the green bar is moving when you talk.
The green bars, more like.
There it is.
Kingsley, confirm. Say something sarcastic.
All right, there you go. Kingsley Thunder. Do the job. Anyways, you were saying, previewing the card, excited for it. What are you excited about exactly?
Excited for the run-up of the card. There's obviously some mad headliners. I think the two headline sort of battles are mad. And ultimately, I'm most excited about getting to watch Rick Charles battle rap again, which is always a guilty pleasure of mine. So, especially after the wonderful face-off from the other night. So, yeah, as a fan of those sort of battles, I'm very excited to see that, 100%.
Let me ask you about the Rick Charles face-off stuff with 9-2 then. Where do you come off on that sort of stuff? Was that something you actually like to see, or are you watching it ironically at this point?
It's a little bit. I'm not watching the stream ironically. Like it was entertaining. Like I don't know how much of 9-2 is his own sort of, personality or character, because some of it has to be a character at some point. I love Rick. Rick's a good friend. Like it just him stepping into the battle rap and the times he's done it before is sick. So it's a very it's a very odd battle, and I'm hoping it will be everything I hope for, because it's going to be 9-2 trying to out-rap Rick Charles, which is just a funny concept in itself. So the sort of face-off solidified that a little bit with 9-2's self-belief, I guess, so to speak. So I'll give him his chance. I'll give him his chance.
It's kind of cool though that, like you say, it's part of an overarching. There's at least like 2 or 3 battles on the card that I'm super excited about. Not again because of anything I'm particularly expecting. I love the attitudes of all of them coming into it. But then you got like some of the up and comers on the card as well, and then you've got the pretense of the whole thing, which is it's a good vibe for an event that's doing something cool for Premier Battles. Like that's pretty cool too, right?
Yeah, I mean, especially it's all in, raising money for Briggsy's sort of the pit film and everything, so that's good. Undisclosed are always a good laugh. I try and make, although I'm down from Essex, I do try and make the journey to most of them. It's always quite a good, sort of a good atmosphere. It gets a lot of the battlers out, and, it's always a fairly good show in that sense. But it's definitely so. For someone like 9-2, well, listen, what I said about 9-2, though, I will give him his credit there. He has successfully sold me on this battle himself, because I was going to love it anyway with Rick Charles, but 9-2's just incessant promo on Twitter and coming on here and having that, it was sort of like, okay, fair enough. Like it got me interested. I won't always click a face off. I won't always click, I'm previewing this battle. I won't always click that. But I was like, Rick Charles and 9-2, and it was good. So what else have we got on this card? Let me pull up the card. I haven't got the thing in front of me. Have a look.
I should have the card in front of me again, but unfortunately, because of the unique way I've set up on this card. Again, ladies and gentlemen, I'm looking at the wrong fucking camera now because I'm all that sort. Ladies and gentlemen, I am extremely sorry about the fact that I fucked up the editing of this. It will get better with time, maybe. But for now at least, we can start from the bottom. So obviously, 9-2 and Rick Charles, and the fact that they're putting £100 on the line as well, that's kind of cool because that then goes towards the pit. As far as like some of the other ones, like something like a Danny Jack versus Grazza, for instance, what do you kind of take from that one?
Again, I had a quick little look at the card when you were chatting there, and actually, every battle I'm sort of excited to see for a variety of different reasons. Grazza and Danny Jack has the potential to be very funny because a prepped and sort of hungry Grazza, so to speak, when he's in his bag, is a very entertaining person, especially against someone like Danny Jack, who has a lot of those angles that people know about, people have got there. And he can really play on that and do it in such a sort of unique way. Danny in himself, though, Danny gets a bad rap on sort of line. Danny's a good battle rapper. Danny knows what he's doing. And again, Grazza's not impervious to being clowned on. There's a lot to say about Grazza. There's a lot that can be flipped on that. And it just depends. Grazza in Manchester against Danny Jack, if he's prepped and he's locked in his bag, he should win that. But again, Danny's an experienced battler. Danny can and has his moments where it would be. It's a good pairing of a battle. I'm surprised it hasn't happened already, to be honest.
Hamill versus Jim Bob Gnarly. Now, neither one of these guys I've previewed much in the past, but on the last stream I did with TMR, who by the way is in the comments, good to see you, buddy, had some really, both guys actually, Rick Charles and 9-2, both had some pretty complimentary stuff to say about Hamill. So given I haven't had too much exposure to him yet, and maybe we might do soon, we'll see. But what are your impressions of him and what are you expecting from that battle?
I've seen Hamill battle once. It was on the last, I think it was Undisclosed, the last one where he did the 2-on-2 against Dojo, Quicksilver. He was with his mate Fusions. Hamill is a scouser, which is why you'll see Kingsley constantly banging on about him like he's the best thing since sliced bread. But in Kingsley's defense, he is quite a good battler. For his first battle, having never done it before, he stood out in a battle against Dojo. He stood out in a battle against Quicksilver. Fusions, I haven't seen before either. Fusions had his moments on there, but Hamill has got I've seen obviously since I've come into it, and like a lot of new guys come in, and some of them I see and go, hey, you've got something there, I like that, man, let's see if you can work on that. Hamill had me watching that battle where I looked at him and went, I want to battle you. Like, he had that sort of thing about him because he was good. There was almost that sort of level of competitiveness in him and just an intensity to himself. And yeah, I think there's a good battler in there. And Jim Bob himself as well, as someone that's battled Jim Bob twice now, battled Jim Bob probably more than he's battled anyone else. Jim Bob is also a very good battler on his day as well. He can be very funny, very in his bag in there. So, it's got a very good potential, to be a good battle, to sell it. It sells itself in that. Hamill's got the newcomer. Jim Bob's been around a little bit. As long as he's not getting no-showed again this year, he'll be happy. So, I think that'll be good to kick off. It'll be probably the second battle, maybe first or second. That'll be a good event, a good battle to start the event, so to speak.
I'm just going to go to the comment section for a second because I want to come back to the face-off thing. So Jim Bob Gnarly has commented here saying that face-off didn't feel real. Here's what I want to come back to about that. Why do you think, because you've taken this opportunity to come on my show, very kind of you, and sorry for the fucking around of all that stuff earlier. But here's my question, do the battlers have enough places to showcase their stuff in advance of a card? Do you feel like they should be doing more on their own backs, or do you think they should be reaching out to the media, or do you think they should be reaching out to the battlers? What's your take on it?
It's difficult. Promo in sort of where I think UK battle rap is at the moment's a bit, it's not limited, it's just a little bit difficult because people always go, they'll say to me, why aren't you promoting your battle on Twitter? Why haven't you DM'd your guy? And it's like, well, because the only dickheads that are going to see it are the ones that are coming to the event anyway. It's not drawing new eyes. And I'll be honest, having been in it, in and around the scene and seeing how the sausage is made, so to speak, seeing battle rappers that I know are good friends arguing on Twitter to try and promote a battle, for me, it's not for me though. That isn't for me. I'll go to an event regardless of how it is on Twitter. I think, to be fair, even when I came in, there was a lot more not a lot more, but there was more live streams. We obviously, even Spaces as well have been and gone. Spaces, I think, are a really good medium just to have a chat, just to talk about, and maybe even promote a little bit of a battle. So it's difficult. I think there's a lot of onus on the league to promote the battles, but then obviously, there is an onus on us to do it. We're the ones, that are performing. It's just a lot of the times maybe it's not done in a way that's most effective. That might be the way to say.
Are the spaces quite loose then? Is that the appeal? Because obviously something like this, I mean, I did, and I'm not a particularly robust programmer, streamer, as we've noted. But, like, my question there is, like, what's the attraction for battlers to the spaces in the sense of, is it just easy to hop on and vibe? Is it a good place to feel like you're secure enough to be able to say stuff and promo stuff without anyone chiming in and cutting you off? Like, what's the appeal?
It's just kind of a cool medium, really. It's just sort of like we all like chatting shit. Like a lot of spaces, some of them have sort of got a focus. So you'll even like a stream like you're doing today, be like, oh, we're going to preview this. Some of them are just let's just talk battle rap, and by the end of it, you're not even talking battle rap. Like we're all quite good mates. A lot of us have, you know, we battle quite regularly. We see each other at events. We've all got this weird hobby, so it's sort of like that's just a cool way just to sort of like have a laugh, have a joke, and I think it's a good that in itself is a good promotion because it's sort of, you know, letting the fans see more people, see more about us, I guess, so to speak, how we react. But ultimately, from my point of view, it's just like, oh yeah, I get to go and chat shit with Kingsley. I can chat shit with Caveman. Like, oh, that's it. Like, we can just have a bit of banter on there, jump off as and where. It's not like formal. It's like, be there at this time. Just, oh, okay, I'll hop on for 20 minutes, call someone a dickhead, and there you go, I'm off. Do you know what I mean?
I totally get what it is. And from a fan's perspective, the reason I ask that question is because I want to do what I can to help preview stuff. I want to show my excitement. You know, stuff like this is cool. But then you wondered, like, the thing you just said, which is, am I even still in the echo chamber with this sort of thing? How do you then think, like, especially someone like yourself, who's probably trying to still make a name for himself within the scene, but also then looks at, like, again, I think you'd quite like to grow your scope outside of just the battle rap sphere. How would you go about it at the moment, or how do you go about it at the moment?
I don't. That's sort of the answer, as you say. It's a very good question, but it's you know, I'm not probably the guy with the answer. I think a lot of it just comes down to energy and character, like, and how you can present yourself, because we're all doing the same thing, but you can stand out on sort of these social media platforms. You can, you know, someone like Gasbuff's a fantastic example of someone that's taken promo and made it his real own thing. Like, if Gasbuff drops a video, I watch it. Like, if someone will drop a clip from a battle I haven't seen, I might not watch it. It's like, oh, I'm not in the mood for that. I don't need to see that. A Gasbuff video, it's like, I don't know where he's going with this. This is great. It's just his own sort of thing. He's made it his own sort of thing on there. So yeah, I guess it depends what you want from the scene. You know, you've got even someone like Caveman who's doing a lot more stuff outside of music, constantly promoting, pushing his own brand. You've got that side of it. I haven't really got anything outside of this. To me, this is a fun hobby. Would I like to be a bit more, you know, popular? Of course, we all probably would, but whether there's that scope to grow realistically for something I can just do on my own at home, probably not. Maybe I just need to be better at battling. Do you know what I mean? I think that's what it comes down to.
Do you know what? That's the thing I took away from Rick during the face-off. The one thing that I was like, there's something to really fucking hammer home is, you know, I asked the question about the promotion side of things, and he just said, be good. When people pay to see you, and when people turn up, or when people click on a video, make sure you're fucking good. So that people go, I'm going to share this shit. This is fucking awesome. Because if you look at Pen Game right now, right? Pen Game is the thing that's blowing up the most on TikTok and Instagram and stuff like that. But they're sharing it more for the irony of it, almost. Like, check out the like the Dad's Dead thing is the one that's made the rounds the most fervently, and it's the one that picked me up because I heard Luna C's parody first. I'm like, yeah, that's just funny. But then I saw the video, I'm like, oh wait, Luna C didn't do a parody. That was a homage. Like, it was almost verbatim what was said, only better. So, like, here's my thing with battle rap, and I promise, I'm still preaching to the wrong camera. I promise we will come back to the card in a second, but I'm just curious on your take on this. In the battle rap sphere, then, is there ways of bringing people in? Because it is a niche. It's a niche culture, and it's kind of you know, it's kind of its own subversion of street hip hop and you know, kind of counterculture to a large degree. But like, it's cool. Like, it's cool. Yeah. Like, I can't express it any more succinctly than that. It's just a fucking cool vibe. It's a cool place to be. They're cool people to hang out with, and they do cool shit. Like, do we emphasize that enough? Like, that it's a cool fucking hobby?
Yeah, it's a good sort of way of looking at it. It's hard to sort of sometimes showcase that to people, because even I've got friends that know I do this, and until they come to an event, I'll send them a video. They'll be like, "Oh, that Coops, that's sick. Like, that's funny. I like that clip. That was a really funny joke." Until a lot of them will come to an event, they'll sort of go afterwards and go, "Oh, I get it. I get it." When you're in a room for a battle and everything on there, and going back to what you're saying with sort of how to make it with what Pen Game have done, I think there's a lot to be said about the virality of just short clips. Like, I've never really written. I know some battlers do write with the intention of, oh, I can chop this up into a minute video. If this goes well, oh, I can subtitle this, put this on TikTok, put this wherever, and this will go well. Someone like Anderson Burris, who from America, he does it fantastically. He will take he's come over here taking battles against now Garsbuff and ScoMo, and you think Anderson Burris is back. He's come over to the UK and he's picked ScoMo and Garsbuff. No disrespect, love them both. One more than other, but you know, I like them both. But you sort of go, Anderson, why aren't you battling Quill? Why aren't you battling Koj? Why aren't you Gemini will battle? Like all these guys would battle you, and it's like, well, no, because I can now make a clip off this. I can do this, and I don't write with that intention. But that's when someone, I can't remember where it was mentioned, someone brought that up. It's sort of like, oh, okay, it makes sense. And people trying to grow a brand, it's like, oh, okay, if every round I've got a 1 minute clip that I can share, that's going to reach a wider audience because it's very accessible battle rap in its purest form. It's like you're just trying to be a dickhead to him over there, and how creative can you say it? Do you know what I mean? That's a very accessible medium. So, yeah, maybe that's where it's at. But I if I had the answers, I'd probably be doing it. So,
because here's the reason why that question's interesting for me to you. This is a tidbit you probably don't know. You were in the first battle I ever watched live, and so in a weird way, you were kind of in a spot to be like, right.
What event was that?
So Plug 3 was the first event I ever attended.
Oh, wow. Tongue twister. Yeah. Right.
So it was that situation where I was like, right, I've watched this on and off for 10 years, but never been in a room. And it's intimidating. There's people there that are all like much bigger than me. And that's the other thing. Every fucking battler on Earth is about 10 times bigger in real life than they ever appear on camera. Marlo and Shuffle T were there, and I walked across, and they got bigger in real time. It was fucking ridiculous. And then I stand in the crowd, and I'm having to do this shit because every fan's bigger than me as well. So the reason I'm interested to pick your thoughts is because you were in the position at that point, not that you knew it, of like if that battle had gone bad, or I thought it was like, oh wow, they really must edit around these, then that might colour my appreciation of the scene. But actually, I had a deeper appreciation after I left that event because it was so much more, it felt so much more like I was involved in it rather than just watching it online, if that makes sense. Like watching it online, you're so passive, whereas when you're at an event and your laugh or your reaction fuels you as a battler, you feed off the energy of the crowd, you channel it, like that's a lot of pressure in a lot of ways, even though, again, it's this idea of, oh, it's all on the headlines. I disagree. I think everyone on the card has a part to play.
Oh, 100%. And someone that's sort of from that battle there, I had other people even come up to me after that and go, oh, Coops, that was sick. This is actually my first time coming to an event. And it's like, oh, and I didn't realize coming into it, it's like, this is a huge event that I'm likely opening. I might be, I didn't even consider that. And that was kind of like a nice little side because, oh, cool. I'm glad I didn't choke. I'm glad I didn't fuck up like the last time I was here. Do you know what I mean? So I like that position on a card, though, weirdly. For my style and sort of thing where I'm at, there's a lot of the times just like, put me on first or second. Let me get in early. Let me just set the room on here. This is when I feel most confident because I think people are more just open. It's like, yeah, we're at it. Let's what's this all about? And then you see me get up there and rap about pegging, and it's just sort of like, the fuck is this? It's just you're in the room, you've got the energy, the laughs. I always say to people as well with battles, like I don't watch a whole lot of battles online because I'll try and watch as many as I can in real life because it doesn't beat it. Just being in the moment of like a funny, jokey moment. Being in the room when Frost did the whole Yanif. I got hat jokes. I got fat jokes. I got like all that shit. Like that was just sort of like such a moment in there. And you'll watch it back. You're like, that's sick. But it's like you're in the mood. You feel that the energy in the room at that time. It was incredible. Like those moments of battle rap make up for it. Sort of like. And to be honest, I'm a bit of a knobhead in the fact that I quite like a shit battle as well, but that's just because, you know, I do this and I like the, you know, the car crashes just as much as sometimes the good battles. Do you know what I mean? So you get it all though, but having someone next to you react, you sort of like, you laugh and they'll laugh and be like, you're sort of like, wow, did you catch that? And it's just, yeah, it beats watching it 100% every time.
Absolutely. Mr. Charles, no, we won't. I stand steadfast in this gentleman's opinion because here's the thing, Mr. Charles. It's on you come November 23rd to set the standard for the rest of the card. So, you know, me and Coopar are in an agreement. Really, if you think about it, you've got most of the praise. In effect, you are the headliner, whether you want to be or not. So, anyways, we should probably get back to the card. So let's and actually, I'll touch on the comments very, very quickly. So Caveman's gassed for Danny versus Graza. Don't even know why, but my Spidey sense is tingling for that one. Best thing since Slice Bread, says Kingsley Thunder when referring to another Liverpudlian. Shocking. Anyways, the card. So Sam
Yes.
Hypes versus Dub T. Now, listen, I've made no secret of the fact that listen, I've been touting Dub T for a long time. I interviewed him when he was still coming up, and now he's had a few more battles. He's had his ups, he's had his downs. And then Sam Hypes, who I've not really seen a lot of either. So what do you expect for that one?
It'll be a very intense battle. That's what I'm expecting from that. The last couple of times I've seen Sam Hypes, he's sort of actually impressed me. Without, it's very easy to get stuck in opinions of battlers, I think. And having seen Sam a few times, it was sort of like, oh, okay, I sort of know what to expect. And then I think I remember, was it against Lazy? I saw him in Liverpool, and I thought Lazy's going to cook him. And do you know what? He really impressed me. Sam's a very clean battler. Will always come with the right energy. He'll get some good punches in there. But then the same with Dub. It's very much sort of like punching versus punching, and it's sort of like who can hit the hardest. That's what that's going to be, because Dub can be very intense, and he's a very clever writer. So, yeah, I don't know which way I'd call that. I'd probably back Dub just because I know him a bit better. But it'll be a very good battle. I think that'll be a good sort of setup for the rest of this sort of mid card. There, you'll probably get it. It'll be a good time to have it in then.
The thing with Dub T that I found, and again, I say this with all due disrespect, young man, which is his confidence is a burden and a curse, in the sense of he is a very good writer, and his confidence takes him to places that I think other battlers struggle to get to. But I've seen him a couple of times almost fall a little bit too in love with his lines, and he'll laugh at them in real time, like, "Oh, this is funny," and like you go, right, keep that shit to yourself, my friend. But I love that from someone as young and as someone as relatively unproven. I know he's had a few battles, but he's still on the come up. But the question then is, like, is he a good, or is he the best example of this current or new crop, or is there someone else that's really embodying the confidence, skill, but also presence of mind to not overestimate what he's doing? Is there anyone else that springs to mind at the moment?
In that sort of crop, probably Dojo sits atop it, maybe.
I completely agree. Yep,
of
completely
that sort
agree.
of crop that's sort of just over us, and like, I'm good mates with Dojo. He's a good lad. They're all, Dub T and himself though. He's I like with Dub T. He's got quite a style that I've seen a Dub T style before, but I haven't seen a Dub T character before. I think he sort of embodies his character quite well. He's a really young lad. When I first met him, he was about 17, and I was like, fucking hell, I think you and I could have a fair fight. Like, I was looking at him going, what the like, you're a big, you can hold yourself, like. And he, but he's also, I when did I drive him back? I went up to an event, went up to the footy with him. I drove him up, and it was like the first time actually meeting him, and he's a really down to earth guy, and like actually seeing the other side of it and just chatting to him about battle rap and what he wants. He was sort of like, yeah, no, I get what he's doing. It's a very difference to what I like in battle rap and what I do in battle rap, but I can still appreciate what he does. And yeah, he does seem to just be, his momentum's growing. He's not stopping. He wants to just keep on it. He's got the right sort of passion and drive for it, I think, 100%.
We've previewed Danny Jack and Grazzer a little bit, so the next one I want to touch on is Kingsley Thunder versus Carlton Shanks. Now, here's the interesting thing with that is I've only seen one Carlton Shanks battle that I can recall, which is the one he did against Gast. And in that battle, what happened was he started off slow, a little bit uneasy. I had to go into it because it was his debut, but by the end, my fucking word, what a vicious young man he was. And I had him taking it 2-1. And then you've got Kingsley. And Kingsley is another guy who's still, I'd say he's still finding his feet in terms of how he wants to compose and deliver things, because he's known for his comedy. But I've seen it a few times in battles where he'll go hard or he'll go lyrically intrinsic, right? It was some clever shit and no one catches it because in their minds he's a comedy, more a comedy leaning guy. And I want people to give him more of a chance in that respect. But it is that thing of how does he interject that where it will actually get over? Like, what do you expect from that battle in particular?
Yeah, no, I'm touching on what you just said at the end. I'll touch back on the battle, but as a comedy battle and someone that's like, oh, I've got a bar, I want to say this punch. It's very difficult, and I don't know if it's because the crowd's expecting it. Like, you can do a whole round of jokes, everyone's loving it. You go, do you know, I'm going to switch this up. I'm going to hit 4 or 8 bars, and I've like written a great bar that if someone that was a more known barrer said, it would probably get reaction, and it just fall. I don't know how it's done. It's much easier for a barrer, someone that intrinsically, to get a laugh, Because if someone that's very intense goes da 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 da, oh, and your mum's fat, it's like, oh, brilliant, like funny, comedic. It's very difficult, I find, to interject the sort of like you do all the mum jokes and then go, actually, I'm going to spit this I've got this scheme on this rhyme and everything. So it is difficult, and Kingsley's very good at both sides. But like, if he wants to go serious and break it down, but he's also fucking hilarious. So Carlton and Swell. Carlton's a very dangerous battler. Carlton's very good at battle rap. He's been around the scene a very long time. He battled, obviously, he used to battle on KOTR, King of the Ronald. So he's been in the trenches, so to speak. He's got his stripes, and so he's very dangerous. He's just a very focused. He's a very good angler. He'll pick an angle and just drill it home. The only person who's beaten Reverse, and Reverse is one of my closest mates, and I still remind it to him this day, the only person who's beat Reverse was Carlton, and he beat him clean. Like, it wasn't close. So Kingsley and Carlton are if both of them are up for this, that could be battle of the night. It genuinely could be. Kingsley's in very good form at the moment. From when he battled, it was Graham, I think, on the last Undisclosed, very good form. So, yeah, as I say, from top to bottom on this card, there's a lot of good battles, and this will be one of my picks that I'm looking forward to, 100%.
Let me ask you a question about that one in particular, because one of the things I noticed about the presentation of Premier Battles versus other places is that Premier Battles is really trying to make sure that everything, once it makes its way to YouTube, is, for lack of a better phrase, as pretty as possible, right? No one presents their battles better than Premier Battles at the moment, right? Let me ask you a question. For you as a fan in the room versus you as a fan on YouTube, how much do you appreciate that? I know it's a ball ache for someone like a Premier Battles or even a Don't Flop or a No Loose Chat or any other promoter to do it, but like, I know it's a subtle thing, but I just find myself thinking, like, they don't have to do that. They could always just have one static camera angle, film it, upload it. Jokes are good. We've got the money for the tickets. We've got the merch sales. We don't, and if you watch it great. But they say that the line, we're making movies. Now, you could say that as being a gimmick. I don't. I see it as, no, that's an aspiration. They're trying to set out to make sure that when someone sees a battle online, if they missed it, they're now thinking, fuck, that looks, I really got to go and buy a ticket and be at the next one. Like, how do you appreciate it?
Oh, the production value is incredible. Like, it's genuinely incredible how well they do it, how quick they get the Patreon out. Well, I wasn't at the last event, the big event, but Briggsy was putting out the battles at the event, which from a pay-per-view point of view, or sort of like a Patreon, as such as like Premier Battles is sort of like a product and a business. That's just brilliant. Like, it's wonderful. I was at home getting notifications going, do you want to watch this battle? I'm like, that event's currently happening. What's going on? So, like, to have that, and then, but just when I'm looking through, like, I see like a good thumbnail, like a thumbnail where I'm on it. The coloring's good. They've got the scheme. And it's just like you sort of it's nice to. It's like my face is on that product, my name's on that product, and it's sort of like I can show it to friends and be like, they're gonna appreciate this as well. They're gonna be like, oh wow, it's like, I know you haven't got a lot of, like, the views ain't great because of whatever, but it's like, oh wow, that's a very professional product. I think if I just showed my friends, I was like, oh, I battled Kingsley at the pub. I battled Kingsley at the weekend. Here's the video, and it's someone stood there like this on their phone, just sort of like this, and be like, oh, that's sick. But like, when you send it to them, it's like, oh, actually, you've got a main camera angle. I've got this shot. There's a shot over there. We've actually got some headshots I've got from the event. Check these pictures out. They're like, oh, it's a proper production. It's a proper sort of like, it's a movie, as you say. It's a proper, and like, you know, it's hard to you don't want to reinvent the wheel format with sort of battle rap. So just to sort of like, you know, refine it and make it better. That's definitely what Prem's done and doing.
It's why I've been so careful not to piss off Rick, because, you know, he has the ability to make you look like a twat in perpetuity, or he can make you look like a superhero. So I pissed off everyone in battle rap except him, because I might get a picture from him one day, and I don't want to look like I'm just fat as fuck and completely spilling all over myself. You know, I want to look like a goddamn superhero. And the only picture I think that exists of me at a premiere event is me looking like actually pretty fucking dope. So, Rick, if you're watching, I have just the utmost respect for you, and I think you're just the most amazing person that may have lived ever. Anyways, moving on. So let's go Bobby Rex versus... I mean, look, this is the battle. If I'm being honest, I'm sorry to Sean, I'm sorry to Raptor, I'm sorry to everyone else on the card. It's the one I'm looking forward to the most, because is it going to be a tiger playing with his food, or is it going to be a scapegoat sort of esque with Gast playing into that and feeding it? Like, what are we going to get with this? I'm fascinated with what's going to happen with it.
unironically, I think we're going to get one of the best Bobby performances we've ever seen. And I believe that because Bobby won't want to lose to Gast. And I know that sounds silly to say, like, oh, he won't want to lose to anyone, he won't want to lose. But like Bobby going against Bizzo, he knows who he's going against, there's the story, whatever. Bobby fucking Rex is battling Gasbuff. That's mad in itself. That's mad to me. Gasbuff and I started similar times. Gasbuff and I are really good friends. He's a great lad, and like I can guarantee Gasbuff's going to have 3 rounds of brilliant fucking material. But I also believe that Bobby Rex will take it personally, and that Bobby Rex can really bully Gasbuff.
And Gast is in the comments saying 3-0 Bobby.
I'm sure Gast is going to have a fantastic performance, but unironically, I think we're going to get a very focused Bobby Rex against Gasbuff on a card with Raptor on it as well. They're going to want to be outdoing each other just because they're mates. They've got this. It's in Manny. It's a sort of the first battle as Continental Champion as well. Like, I know the belt's not up, but this is the Continental Champion. This is Bobby Rex. And all I'm saying, Gast, is you better be ready because it's going to be. Bobby Rex scares me sometimes when I'm standing next to him. Being in front of him while he's like shouting at me, which I don't know how you're going to do it, but good luck.
I've never heard Bobby say my name without him saying almost like he's taking the word from thin air and chewing like wrestler. And it's like, how do you say my name scarily? How does that work? Like, I commented once that Bobby doesn't wake up and choose violence. Violence is his default. Like, and the other thing was once he was like, listen, lads, I'm not being funny. There's nothing that can't be settled in a car park. Like that. Every time I go to the gym since, I'm like, I might have to meet someone in a car park, so I better leave this session better equipped to deal with that eventuality. And I love you, Bobby, but know that those words haunt me to this day. But anyways, let's come to the main event. And I saw something. Do you know what? I will use this as an example of something that I want to talk to you about before we actually talk about the main event, which is I saw a fan interaction about this poster. And someone said, you should put Raptor and Sean on the poster. Like the names. You should think about putting them on there. And then someone had to go, they're on the poster, by the way.
They are.
And
literally. Yeah.
Here's the question I have for you. Fan interaction when it comes to battle rap.
Yeah.
On balance, how have you found it? Because I don't really interact with the fans all that much, ironically enough. I don't really get a lot of comments or texts or messages from a lot of the fans, so it's difficult for me to gauge. But obviously, you're a battler. So you probably have seen at least some smattering of comments over your time as a fan and now as a battler. When's a good interaction from a battle rap fan, and when's one that's like this, where it's like, dude, I need to say something to you without insulting you, but you're making it really difficult?
Yeah, it's the online fans in general. Most of the time, it's sound. At the end of the day, we are doing an art form where it's opinion based. There's going to be people that despise the fact I enjoy battle rapping because of the fact I'm a comedy guy. I like the absurd. I like the meta. I will say the stuff that I know makes you feel uncomfortable just because it makes me laugh. And I have to accept that. And in the same way, I can appreciate the people on the other end of the spectrum that do it. So, you don't like my style? Okay, cool. You don't need to be a knobhead about it. It's fine. Wonderful. Most interactions, fine. Fans at events are always just sound as fuck. Everyone's pretty much sound as fuck. The thing we live for as battlers is as you come off after a good performance, someone comes up to you, daps you up and says, that was sick. That's the buzz we get. We do it for that. That's what we do it for. So you do, Twitter does throw up the odd interesting fan, shall we say, a couple every time a month or so. And, most of the time it's with good intention though. And I no one's outright disrespectful. Some people might say some stuff that I'm like, I don't know how you've reached that opinion, but do you know what I mean? You're entitled to it at some point. I don't read YouTube comments all that much. I'll read them a little bit after the first week. I haven't checked a lot of them after a while. It doesn't really affect me too much, but in general, the fans are what makes this happen. So it's sort of like, have your opinions. Do you know what I mean?
I will say, by the way, that I think part of that in real life element of it being better than the online is because y'all, and I mean this when I say this, Gast is in the comments right now, and Gast, thank you so much for appearing the other day, and thank you for being in comments, but I'll use you as an example of being too nice. You're killing the gimmick.
Gast is lovely. Gast was too nice when I first met him. It took me a minute to be like, oh, you are real. Cool. Yeah, you're sound.
He's a lovely, lovely man. Too lovely, because at match day 5, right, I'm watching a battle, And I see him behind me with, I presume that was his missus at the time, and they're shorter than me. So I'm like, oh, yeah, you need to step forward so you can sit. And they're like, no, you're a fan. You stand in front of me. I'm like, no, but you're short. No, but you're here to, like, and also I'm sure they want you on camera before they want me on camera. Like, it's like, no, you like that. And that's what I'm saying. Like, the battlers seem to go out of their way to make sure that the fans have a great experience. The guys who run the events go out of their way to, like, at one of the events I went to recently, one of the battlers, I won't name who, and I knocked a beer out of his hand when I did this, by the way, so I feel really shitty. But, like, I accidentally nailed it. He's like, no, never mind. Right, by the way, here's where you need this. Here's where you can get a drink. In fact, let me get sorted. And made sure I was settled in the event before he cracked on with his duties. Like,
Yeah.
I got to tell, if you are thinking about buying a ticket to a battle rap event, don't think. Just buy it, go, enjoy yourself thoroughly, and then wonder when the next one's going to be. Because honestly, if I hadn't been to the first one, I wouldn't have done the next two that I did and the fourth one that I'm doing. It's a live event is exactly what battle rap's supposed to be, which is the community at its finest, doing what it does best.
Yeah, I think you can get these preconceived notions of when you go to a battle event, what it's going to be like. It's going to be very intense. All these battlers hate each other. And it's like, actually, 90% of us are friends. Number one, we all do the same. We're all in this weird hobby. And everyone's really approachable. Everyone, even when I first went, I went to an event before I battled, and I thought, I'll go and check out the vibe, see what it's like. And it's like, oh, Shuffle T's there. And I'm like, oh, nice to meet you, Shuffle T. It's like, oh, no. It was very easy to do. Do you know what I mean? That's why I met Gas for the first time. I sort of like, and as, you know, I've met people that have come to events and they'll go, oh, I've seen you on YouTube, Coopar. It's like, oh, lovely to meet you. Like, we're all mostly sound guys. Anyone that comes up to me and goes, oh, you're Coopar, I think you're sick, I've seen you on YouTube. You're great. Like, oh, wonderful. That's really nice of you to say. Do you know what I mean? You didn't have to. Like, you don't have to go out your way to do that. So, I've, you know, gone out my way sometimes to make sure people are cool at events, but then everyone will. You know, it's a good sort of family sort of feel. Get in the crowd, get reacting, have a drink, have a laugh, and you'll end up just having random. The best parts of, I find, for battle events are the stuff that's not happening in the battles. It's happening during the battles in the crowd with the other battlers. Like, someone will say something in a round and I'll make a joke to the battle next and we're giggling to it. It's just a good energy. It's just a good energy at nearly every event. There's been one bad event in energy, and that was because someone decided to bring something on stage they shouldn't have done and then wave it around, and that sort of ruined the energy a little bit, shall we say. But even up to then, it was sick. Like, so every time, always loved it, come away from it, it's like, oh, that was sick. I love just going to events to see everyone, essentially. That's what I like going up to Manchester for. So
two highlights for me at events so far, in the battle setting, like you mentioned. One was at fucking Checkpoint 5. Luna was battling, and I looked over at Marlo during one round, and Marlo was just like, then we were locking, and we were both just like, yeah, right. And then the other one was at match day, at Plug 3. Shotty was getting ready to go live, and I just saw out a Sov Pro chant, because I'm just like, fuck, Sov Pro. So, and he kind of just acknowledged that the one wrestling fan in the house was like, yeah, I really dig your ship. Anyways, fanboying outside. Let's get to the main event. Raptor versus Sean Cray. Talk to me about it, because again, having sampled more of Sean, especially Sean against Frankie Fraser, which was was an ungodly good battle in terms of just the back and forth and the exchanges. Talk to me all about this one, man.
It's a really fantastic battle, and I'm really buzzing on behalf of Sean that he's battling Raptor. I think that's just such a cool battle. Raptor's battling Sean Cray. That's what we're getting to see next week. I'm getting to watch Bobby Rex versus Gaspuff, and I'm watching Sean Cray against Raptor. I'm really close with Sean. We're sort of good friends after we battled, when we first battled. Sean's a really good lad, and he loves battle rap, and when I first saw Sean and when I battled him, I was sort of like, oh, I can see what you're doing. I didn't think he really had another level, but then he went up another level. Then he went up another level, and it's like, oh, well, fuck you, I'll stay down here then. Like, he's just honed his style, his performance, the way he controls a room. The battle he had against Roars and Don't Flop was incredible. Like, the energy in the room. I remember just being in that crowd and going, this guy's a star. Like, he's Sean fucking Cray. Like, he's really built his character. He's really built his brand. And then he's going against Raptor, who is one of the best battle rappers the UK has ever produced. That I can argue that quite comfortably. He's a very intense battle rapper, incredible writer, to the point where, as I say, there's a lot of writers in battle rap. He sits atop those. Do you know what I mean? He is someone I want to listen to and go, okay, what crazy shit are you going to come out with today that my brain can't even comprehend? And in the same way, Raptor is fucking hilarious. Both him and Bobby have this ability to be the scariest guys in the room one moment and then instantly be the funniest. And it's a wonderful skill that they've both got. And Raptor's comeback battle, I say comeback, he did battle Koj. I don't know, what was that, 12 months, 18 months ago? But it's a really fun battle. I'm just excited to be there. I couldn't call it. I don't know how it's going to go. I've not heard Sean's rounds. I've normally heard Sean's rounds by now, and I don't want to. If he offers it, I don't really want to. I want to just experience it as a fan. Like, I'm excited, man. I'm just excited.
To go back to Plug 3, I remember Sean after his battle, right? I think it was against LS Dean.
LS Dean.
And I think it was one of the first people to walk up to him and congratulate him on the battle, and he was so disappointed in himself. And I was like, man, you were great. You were hilarious. And he's like, yeah, but, and like, part of me was confused. Like, what were you expecting of yourself? And then you see a performance like he did against Frankie. Yeah. And you go, I couldn't believe the consistency of how he rode that battle. The bit that got it for me was when Scoop piped up in the audience, and he just immediately transferred the delivery from Frankie to Scoop without missing a beat. Like, just rode that energy. Other battlers might have been a little bit, let me readjust, or miss their place. He just rode the wave of that energy because it was all in stride for him. And that's such a improvement that makes me think, when I first heard this card, it is that thing of, oh, well, good for Sean, it's a good thing, rather than, no, actually, Sean could do some damage here. And Raptor better be on his fucking A game. Yeah.
Oh, 100%. In the same way, Gast and Bobby will, I think, draw out a good Bobby. I think, unironically, Sean Cray will draw out a very good Raptor. Because it's not like Raptor's going into, I've got to out-rap him, I've got to do... He's got to go against someone... He's got to go against a pub dad. That's who he's going against. And that is Sean's character, and that's who Sean is. And he sells it perfectly, leans into it perfectly. But in the same way, Sean's a very, very good angler, and he's very good at just quick little two-line insults that you're like, how the fuck has no one said that? And B, that is just such a great way of wording it. Like, he's just got a really good turn of phrase and a really good sort of cadence, the way he sort of... That's the difference, I think, with the LS Dean battle, where it wasn't quite hitting there. He's just found his confidence. He's found his sort of swag. He's found his speed. He's found the cadence which Sean Cray works in. If I just did a Sean Cray battle, you'd be like, this doesn't sound natural. Do you know what I mean? Sean Cray's got a cadence and a style that no one else has. And he just... Perfect. And then... Getting to see Raptor live is always going to be a treat, and I think this room, I don't think the Koj battle did he sort of like return, so to speak, justice. It was a good battle from both of them, but I think Raptor versus Sean Cray has the potential not only to be a good battle, but I think it will have some good moments. I think they'll have good interactions between them, which are always the best part as well. So, yeah, I'm excited pretty much top to bottom for this card, and that will just be a great way to top it off.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree with you more, and especially in the Sean Cray sense, right? I have high hopes for him beyond this battle, because the one thing that struck me about the Frankie Fraser battle was, obviously, Frankie gave a great performance as well.
Yeah, that's Frankie. Yeah.
Sean, though, he might be the guy who I think has the most potential to cross over from people outside of battle rap into battle rap. He's such a relatable dude, and the way he battles and the things he incorporates into his battles are so easy to impart to a non-battle rap fan. Like, it was almost a comedy routine at times when he was battling Frankie Fraser, and I don't mean that to denigrate him. I mean that in the, I don't see anyone struggling to catch what he said who aren't hardcore battle rap fans, but there was enough there for hardcore battle rap fans to know that he was winking and nudging at them a little bit. Do you know what I mean? And that's something exciting that I think Preb have on their hands potentially, is a guy who has like an everyman appeal, who doesn't have this sort of rugged, tough as nails, fucking, I'll fuck you up and I'll fuck your mum up persona. He's a lad. He's a geezer. Like, he markets and he's genuine.
He's the guy at the football.
Yeah.
He's at the football. He's the guy you'll bump into that's got some slightly, controversial views on race and immigration. Like, that's who Sean Cray is. That's not who Sean Cray is, but that's the sort of person he is. Do you know what I mean? He's very accessible. Battle rappers sometimes, like, I'm a fan of battle rap. I'm a fan of rap. I'm a fan of the way words rhyme. I've got a sort of a niche sort of interest in that I can appreciate a good rapper and a battler. Not everyone I show a clip to, I could be like, oh, check out, in the nice way, Frankie Fraser is a wonderful battler. This isn't a take away from him. I could show a couple of my mates Frankie Fraser and they'd be like, oh, okay, yeah, no, it was quite funny. It's like, yeah, but did you not hear that? And they're like, oh, yeah, I guess. Do you know what I mean? Someone like Sean Cray just standing there, pint in his hand, just very skillfully breaking someone down. But as you say, he's got the ode to it because he shows a lot of care to the actual skill to it. He's rhyming. He's got a very unique way of rhyming. Some of the multis and some of the setups he uses are very, only Sean Cray could get away with them. Like he's got a very just way of delivering it, and he doesn't sacrifice the art of battle rap, so to speak, the art of writing and crafting bars and whatever, however you want to talk about it, to then just be, yeah, I'm Sean Cray, what about it? Never talk to coppers. Like it's just Sean Cray. It's fucking Sean Cray. Do you know what I mean?
And there you go. I had no idea we were going to be able to preview the whole card, so we've really covered some ground there. So I mean, there's only one more question to ask, which is, you got your ticket yet?
I've got my ticket. Yeah,
You've got your ticket. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. I brought my ticket.
Just one?
I was worried they might not.
You didn't buy 10?
No, I've got 2. I'm coming up with Reaver, so I treated him to a ticket. Do you know what I mean? I thought I'd treat him to a nice day out. No, I haven't got the boys for this one. The boys might be for there's a card happening in February that we might get some preview on, hopefully after Undisclosed. So yeah, that'll be when I start promoting a little bit and being a bit more insufferable on Twitter, so to speak. But for now, I'm just coming up as a fan and just looking forward to the energy of the room, and it's gonna be a really sick card. So sometimes I come up and I'm like, oh, it'd be good to see everyone. Oh yeah, there's some battles happening. This one's sort of like, oh, there's some good battles happening. There's some very good battles happening, and everyone's going to be hungry coming into this. It's going to be a good day.
All right. In that case, then, there's only one other thing to ask you, which is, while I've got you, is there anything you want people to be aware of that you're working on in the background, or any battles you want to maybe tidbit or do you want to promo? Do you want to call out someone now and get an emoji going? Like, if this is going to be a thing, I'm happy to promote the emoji thing. Like,
I've got some, as I say, I've got something maybe potentially locked for that February card, and that's all I'll say. But no, I don't want to. I'm not really in a promoting mood. I just thought I'd come on and chat shit about battle rap at the moment. I've enjoyed not battling at the moment. It's been really nice, in the nicest possible way to battle and battle rap. It's been nice just to not think about hating someone in rhyme for like months on end. You know what I mean? So it's like, I'll get back to that in Feb, and then maybe we can have another chat where I'll get some running emojis going on Twitter.
Nice. In that case, then, I will let you go. Thank you so much for hopping on, man. I really appreciate it. And thanks for bearing with me with our fucking technical difficulties. Sorry about that.
That went a lot deeper than I thought we were going to. I felt like I was in an interview at times, but it was good. We had a good deep dive on there. So I thought we were just going to chat, have a lot. But yeah, no, appreciate you having me on, and I'll catch you obviously at the weekend. We will catch you at the weekend, and hopefully we'll get you on to do a proper deep dive one of these days. We'll let you go for now, though. Good man. Appreciate it. That's Coopar, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. There he goes. Let's swap back to this screen. There we are. Wow, how cool was that? Coopar was on, and it was great, and it was fun, and we had Gast in the comments, we had Rick Charles in the comments, TMR was here, Caveman was here, Kingsley was here, Jim Bob was here. Everyone joined, and everyone had fun, and no one's mum got insulted, and that can only be a good thing. Well, there you go. I don't know if there's much more to say. I mean, although I will say, since I invited anyone to appear, the offer still stands. We still have probably 20 minutes before I have to bounce. I have an interview with a certain Liam Spencer, aka Annotate, at 9 o'clock. So I've got to make sure I'm ready and set up for that, which shouldn't take too long. But in the meantime, if anyone has any questions, queries, or if any of the other battlers want to hop on quick and preview their battles for the event, or talk about anything you're excited about, I'm here for it. I just got to wait now, because it looks like I'm a little bit further ahead than y'all. So, yeah. I'm just going to do some admin while I'm here and let you guys catch up. I can't lie. I had so much fun doing that. That was so much fun. Like, really, that was so much fucking fun. Apart from the technical difficulties, that was fucking embarrassing. I'm so sorry to Coopar for that. That was really, really poor form of me to not have it set up and working correctly from the jump. However, I now know what the problem was, and I also know how to avoid some of that scatty, shitty bit at the beginning. So, yeah, the next one will be I'm learning in real time. You got to bear with me. I'm learning in real time. The stream itself was solid.
I'm happy to report on this occasion. So I'm really happy about that. And I'm also happy that the presentation has been upped slightly. But yeah, could have done without Coopar being muted for the first 2.5 minutes of our conversation and then spending the next 2.5 minutes figuring out how that shit worked. So for the people that are watching currently, I appreciate you bearing with me. But yeah, if anyone else wants to hop, if Gas is still in the if Gas is still watching, if Rick is still watching, Caveman, are you still watching, Jim Bob? I don't know who is watching right now who might want to hop on and preview. But if you don't, then that is not a problem, because I've just had the best time. That was so much fun. I loved it. So there you go. I can see that the stream has finally caught up with me. So I think I'll probably sign off there, since I haven't seen anyone in the comments pipe up to say that they want to hop on. So listen, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, that was the preview for Undisclosed 13, happening on November 23rd at 33 Oldham Street in Manchester. You can get your tickets right now if you still haven't purchased your ticket from premierbattles.club. I would heartily recommend that you do so. I'm going to be there. Coopar's going to be there. Reverse is going to be there, it turns out. That's pretty cool. All the guys on the card, I would hope, are going to be there. And who knows? Who knows what else is going to be kicking off on the event? So make sure you get a ticket. Don't be left disappointed. Get the Patreon if you can't. Make sure you pick up the battles after they go live on the 23rd when they drop. In the meantime as well, I will also promote TMR. The TMR podcast, I would heartily recommend you go and subscribe, because that gentleman is doing his best to try and promote battle rap in every single way that he can in the UK scene, having transitioned from the American scene to ours, still covering the American scene, but trying to put more of a focus on the UK battle rap side of things. So go subscribe to him. Obviously, Cammy is still kicking around. You should go subscribe to Cammy. Crash Report, you should go subscribe to Crash as well. And in between then, you should just probably call your parents and tell them you love them. Like, if you get time, that's something you should probably think about doing as well, because Christmas is coming, and you'll probably want presents, and it's a good job to, make sure you get them, just a suggestion. But otherwise, I don't know how much I'll do. I've got 2 live streams for next week. I've got Lunacy versus Madness, and I've got Dojo versus Hulk. Those are the last 2 battles that I've got actually set up and ready to go. So I'll react live to those on Tuesday and Thursday respectively at 7 p.m. So make sure you tune in for those. We have Mr. Rick Charles joining us on Monday for an interview. We probably won't do it live. Rick will be relieved to hear. We will do it recorded and I will upload it, but I will try and have it uploaded quickly enough that we can use it to promo Undisclosed 13. We also have interviews with Kingsley Thunder and with Mr. 92. I'm still in the process of just getting them okayed by each respective gentleman. Once they've given me the okays on those, they will go live, and they will hopefully serve nicely as previews for this card as well. And then from there, we'll see. I think Hamill messaged and said he'd be happy to appear on. I'm just waiting on a day and a time. I mean, if there's anyone else I can get my hands on in the meantime. Obviously, we interviewed Sean last year. I don't know if Sean would be willing to come on. Raptor, I've been pursuing for an interview for some time. I'd be tempted to reach out to him again. Bobby, I've been desperate to get on for an interview for the longest time. Gast, he was on the other day. Kingsley, obviously, was threatening to hop on this occasion. But yeah, I think he let Coopar take the reins on this one. That's fine. And then obviously we had Mr. 92 and Mr. Rick Charles. So Rick Charles is going to be in on Monday, so you'll hear from him. You get the opportunity to hear from him about all of this stuff, but I think we'll be focusing on other things. So don't be too disappointed in me if I don't ask him about the emoji stuff, okay? Otherwise, I think we'll leave it there. So ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, I've been Lorne Risley, host of the show. I want to say thank you for tuning into this stream, and also thank you to Coopar for not only bearing with me during the technical difficulties, but actually for being a pretty fucking ace. I think you'll agree. He wasn't expecting it to be, quote, that deep. And neither was I, really. But I like taking the opportunity to ask battlers about questions that I'm curious about. Because I think as a fan, it's nice to be able to pick their brains about shit from time to time. And in a nice way. You know what I mean? So that was cool. The other thing I'm going to do at some point is I'm going to get another fucking webcam. I can't bear that angle. I can't bear it. This angle, I like. I don't look terrible on this. Well, I do look terrible, but I don't look quite as bad as on this fucking camera here. I need a nicer camera. I need this one here, but I need it sort of set like next to this one so that I've got a camera that I can cut to. That would be nice. But the next battler that appears on the live stream, I promise, We're not going to have those technical difficulties. I do apologize to everybody for those. I'm really, really sorry about that. Thank you for bearing with me. For the people that have stuck around to the end of the stream, you're absolute diamonds, the lot of you. But yeah, so since no one's pinged me to let me know they want to hop on, and since no one's in the comment section saying, hey, I want to preview my battle, I want to promo my battle, I will leave it there. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me. I sincerely hope you're all taking care of yourselves. Please remember, premierbattles.club. Go get your ticket for Undisclosed 13. I'll see you there. If not, I will see you. Whew, that was quite the stream. I will see you on the next episode of the Halcyon Show.